Imagine being 79 years old. Most people play golf. Most people rest. But Gary Cox was busy. He built a machine, a hidden, quiet machine. It did not make cars. It did not make food. It made money. $1 billion, to be exact. It stole from the sick. It stole from the old. And it all started with a simple phone call. The sun is not up yet. The house is perfectly dark. The house is completely quiet. Gary Cox opens his eyes. He is 79 years old. His back aches. His knees pop. He feels just like any normal man his age. He pushes the heavy blanket away. He swings his legs out of bed. His bare feet hit the cold wood floor. He walks down the hall to the kitchen. He makes coffee. The machine hums. The dark roast smells rich. It smells sharp and bitter. He pours it into a thick mug. He takes a slow sip. The hot liquid burns his throat just a little bit. He likes it that way. It wakes him up. It clears his mind. Gary does not put on heavy work boots. He does not grab a tool belt. His tool is a small plastic mouse. His factory is a flat computer screen. He walks into his home office. He sits at his large desk. The black leather chair squeaks under his weight. He reaches out. He turns on the monitor. A cold blue light washes over his wrinkled face. He blinks. The screen loads. It shows a bright logo. Power Mobility Doctor RX. They call it DMRX for short. To the outside world, Gary is just a CEO, a smart, older businessman. He sells healthcare software. Good software that helps doctors, suppliers, and pharmacies talk to each other. It looks clean. It looks legal. He clicks the mouse. Click, click. Lines of data roll down the bright screen. Names, ages, phone numbers, home addresses. These are not just blank numbers. They are real people. Grandmothers in Ohio, grandfathers in Texas, hundreds of thousands of them, all relying on Medicare. Gary takes another sip of his coffee. The room is dead silent, but on the exact same screen, a loud, invisible machine is roaring to life. The DMRX platform is working hard. Marketers are buying names. Offshore call centers are dialing phones. Ring, ring, ring. They talk to the old folks. They offer them back braces. They offer knee braces. They offer fancy pain creams. Things the patients do not even need. Gary watches the data flow like a river. The medical suppliers log in. The pharmacies log in. The doctors log in. Only the doctors are not really seeing the patients. It is a magic trick. A fast 2-minute phone call. Or maybe no call at all. But the doctors sign the official order forms anyway. Gary sits back and smiles. The numbers go up. $10,000. $100,000. $1,000,000. He takes a deep breath. The air in the room is cool. The air is dry. Everything is running smooth. He built this giant web. He is the quiet spider in the middle. He makes sure everyone gets their cut. The illegal kickbacks. The secret bribes. The coordination fees. No blood. No guns. Just silent clicks. It is a normal Tuesday. A quiet morning for an old man. The coffee gets cold in his mug. The sun finally peeks through the heavy window blinds. He thinks he is perfectly safe. He thinks he has hidden the dangerous words. But Gary is completely wrong. Somewhere far away, a red light is blinking, and the hunters have found his scent. Have you ever wondered how much a single signature is worth? To you, maybe nothing. But to a criminal, it can be worth exactly $1 billion. If you want to see more stories that dive into the hidden side of history, Subscribe to Fleece. We are on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and your support makes these documentaries possible. Now, back to the story. Gary needed a bridge. He had the long lists of names. He had the offshore call centers dialing numbers all night. He had the confused, trusting patients on the phone, but he still needed one crucial thing. He needed a real doctor to say yes. Without a doctor's signature, the federal Medicare money stays locked in a vault. It cannot be touched, so Gary built a fake bridge. He used the magic of telemedicine. It sounds fancy. It sounds high-tech and helpful. But in Gary's world, it was just a cheap trick, a dark room, and a very fast phone call. Here is how the trap worked. First, a marketer pushes an old man on the phone. Your knee hurts, right? You need a brace. It is free. The old man nods. He agrees. Next, the patient's file goes to a doctor. But this doctor is not in a bright clinic. This doctor is not looking at the old man. The doctor does not press on his sore knee to check for pain. The doctor just looks at a glowing computer screen. Sometimes, the doctor talks to the patient for 1 single minute. Sometimes, they do not speak at all. The silence is heavy, but the doctor just clicks a button. They sign the official paper anyway. Boom. The trap snaps shut. Why would a doctor do this? The answer is simple. Money. Pure, easy, dirty money. Gary's hidden machine paid the telemedicine companies. Those companies paid the greedy doctors. Then, the medical equipment suppliers stepped into the shadows. They paid secret kickbacks. They handed out illegal bribes just to get those signed papers. It was a giant spinning circle of cash. And Gary Cox stood right in the middle. He collected a fee for every single click. To keep the money flowing, the machine had to look totally clean. Gary was smart. He used fake legal documents. He called them sham contracts. They looked like normal business deals on the surface, but they were just masks to hide the bribes. He also had a strict rule for his workers. No dangerous words. If a doctor wrote a note that looked suspicious, Medicare might audit them. An audit means federal inspectors. Inspectors mean handcuffs and prison. So Gary and his team scrubbed the files clean. They deleted any word that looked bad. They made sure the fake paperwork looked absolutely perfect. Flawless. Every single day, thousands of fake medical orders piled up. Medicare paid out millions of dollars. Then hundreds of millions. A massive $360 million in real cash vanished into thin air, but the scale of the crime was getting way too big. $1 billion lie casts a giant shadow. You cannot steal that much money and stay invisible forever. Somewhere far away in Washington, a strange pattern popped up on a quiet government computer screen. A federal agent stopped typing. The agent blinked. They leaned in and looked much closer. The math did not make sense. Why did one tiny software company order so many pain creams and leg braces? The hunters finally had a map, and they began to circle in the dark. Running $1 billion scam is hard work. It is not a quiet vacation. For Gary Cox, the stress is a heavy, wet blanket. It presses down on his chest every single day. The DMRX machine is too big now. It is moving much too fast. There are hundreds of offshore call centers. There are dozens of fake pharmacies. There are greedy doctors who always want more money. Keeping them all happy is a total nightmare. Gary's partners, Gregory and Brett, feel the intense heat. They are nervous. One tiny mistake will bring the whole house down. One angry patient calling Medicare to complain. One scared doctor who talks to the police. The risk of total failure is everywhere. Gary's eyes burn from staring at the bright screen. His stomach is tied in tight, painful knots. They have to hide the tracks constantly. They have to delete the digital evidence every single night. The paperwork is a giant, endless mountain. If one federal inspector looks closely at a single file, the game is over. The Medicare audits are like hungry wolves circling the door. Gary tries his best to keep the wolves away. He builds fake, empty contracts. He lies to everyone. But the lies are getting very thin. Stop. Look at this. Look at this piece of paper glowing on the computer screen. It is a physician's medical order form. It is bright white. It has a neat blue logo at the very top. It looks real and official, but lean in. Look closer. Look at the blank lines where the doctor should write their detailed notes. They are completely empty. There are no notes about the old man's real pain. There are no notes about his long medical history. The dangerous words are scrubbed totally clean. Words like prior injury or recent surgery, gone. Erased by a computer mouse. It is a fake ghost document. It is just a blank ticket used to steal money. Now, take a step back and breathe. The federal agents are tired of looking at ghosts. The Joint Task Force is wide awake. The FBI is there. The health inspectors from HHS are there. The military police are there too. They are all sitting in a dark, cold room together. They are pinning fake pieces of paper to a big corkboard. They are drawing thick red lines with a marker. The red lines all point to one single place. They point directly to the Dimaris platform. They point straight to Gary Cox. Gary does not know they are coming yet. He is still drinking his bitter morning coffee. He is still watching the stolen money go up. But the internet connects them all. The agents can see the invisible digital footprint. They can see the secret kickbacks bouncing between hidden bank accounts. The trap is finally set. But it is not Gary's trap anymore. The hunters are getting ready to kick in the front door. The only question is, who is going to crack first? It is early morning again. The coffee is hot. The house is quiet. Gary Cox is sitting in his heavy leather chair. He is looking at the bright computer screen. The numbers are still climbing. $1 billion in fake medical claims. It is a massive mountain of dirty money. Gary's heart beats slow and steady. He feels like a king. He feels totally untouchable. Then, the perfect silence breaks. It does not start with a phone call. It starts with a sound. A loud, heavy sound at the front door. Bang, bang, bang. Gary jumps. His hot coffee spills. The dark liquid runs across the clean wooden desk. He stands up fast. His old knees crack. His breathing gets shallow. His heart rate spikes instantly. Thump, thump, thump. He can feel his pulse pounding in his neck. He can feel it ringing in his ears. He walks to the front window. He peeks through the heavy blinds. The street is not empty anymore. It is full of cars. Dark, heavy, armored cars. Bright red and blue lights flash against the glass. The sharp lights hurt his tired eyes. Men and women in thick jackets are marching up his driveway. They have big yellow letters on their backs. FBI. They are not alone. The federal health inspectors are there. The military police are there. It is a massive joint strike force. They have finally found the spider in the web. Bang, bang, bang. Open the door. Federal agents. Gary starts to sweat. A cold, wet drop rolls down his wrinkled forehead. His hands begin to shake. The giant Demerx machine is still humming in the other room. The fake doctors are still clicking the mouse. The illegal kickbacks are still flying around the internet. But Gary cannot hide them anymore. The front door swings open. The quiet house fills with sudden violence and noise. Heavy black boots stomp on the hardwood floor. Walkie-talkies crackle and hiss. Loud, angry voices echo in the hallway. Agents rush into the home office. They do not care about the spilled coffee. They care about the glowing screen. They start unplugging thick black cables. They grab the computers. They box up the hard drives. They are tearing the billion-dollar machine apart, piece by piece. Gary is pushed back. He leans against the cold, painted wall. The air in the room feels thick. He can barely breathe. The trap has snapped shut. But this time, Gary is the one caught inside. All the sham contracts are useless. The deleted dangerous words do not matter at all. The secret is out. The massive Medicare fraud is finally dead. An agent walks right up to Gary. The agent holds a shiny pair of silver handcuffs. The metal clinks together. It is a sharp, cold sound. Gary holds out his shaking hands. The steel locks tight around his wrists. The king of the fake doctors has fallen, but as they lead him out the door, into the flashing red lights, a darker question remains. The machine is broken, but what happens to the innocent victims left behind? The heavy wooden hammer hits the desk. Smack. The judge looks down. The large courtroom is completely still. The air feels thick and heavy. The victory for the federal agents is finally complete. The jury has spoken. Gary Cox is guilty. He is 79 years old. The judge gives him 15 long years in a federal prison cell. He will trade his soft leather chair for a hard metal cot. He will trade his quiet house for a loud, dangerous cage. He is also ordered to pay back a giant mountain of money, $452 million. It is a massive number. It is a total financial wipeout. The giant DMX machine is dead. The offshore call centers are shut down. The greedy fake doctors are hiding in fear. The news reporters cheer on television. The government agents shake hands and smile. They won the big fight. The monster is slain. But wait. Stop the celebration. Turn the loud, happy music off. Make the room perfectly quiet. What the history books do not tell you is the dirty secret left behind. The real cost of this victory is not counted in missing dollar bills. It is counted in quiet, lonely living rooms all across America. Let us go back to Ohio. Let us go back to Texas. Think about the hundreds of thousands of old folks who picked up the phone. They trusted the friendly voice on the other end. They thought a real doctor actually cared about their aching joints. They thought the medical system was trying to help them feel better. Now, look inside their dark closets. Look in the dusty corners of their bedrooms. There are stacked brown boxes everywhere. The cardboard smells like cheap glue. Boxes full of stiff plastic back braces. Boxes full of heavy knee braces that do not fit right. Tubes of sticky pain cream that do not work at all. These medical items are completely useless. They were never meant to heal anyone. They were just plastic keys to unlock the federal Medicare vault. The grandmothers and grandfathers feel sick inside. Their faces turn red. They feel deeply embarrassed. They feel totally used. They finally realize they were never patients to Gary Cox. They were just blank lines of data on his bright computer screen. They were just raw bait on a very long hook. Every time a fake doctor signed an order, real cash drained out of Medicare. That is money meant to save real sick people. Money for real cancer treatments. Money for real heart surgeries. Gary stole the cash, yes. But he also stole something much worse. He stole pure trust. He took the safe, quiet lives of the elderly and turned them into a dirty magic trick. A prison sentence cannot buy that trust back. The spider is finally locked in a cage, but his dark, sticky web is still wrapped around the whole country. The sun is not up yet. The room is perfectly dark, but it is not quiet. Someone is yelling down the long hall. A heavy metal door slams shut. Clang. Gary Cox opens his eyes. He is still 79 years old. His back still aches. His knees still pop. He pushes the thin, scratchy blanket away. He swings his legs out of bed. His bare feet do not hit a smooth wood floor. They hit cold, gray concrete. There is no rich, dark coffee waiting for him in the kitchen. There is no quiet home office. There is no squeaky leather chair. There is only a tiny sink and a steel toilet. Gary does not have a plastic computer mouse anymore. He does not have a bright, glowing screen. The great DMX machine is totally dead. It was just a ghost made of fake paperwork and greedy lies. He sits on the edge of his hard metal cot. He has 15 long years to think about what he built. He built a massive billion-dollar empire out of thin air. He built it on the sore backs of old grandmothers and grandfathers. But an empire made of lies always falls down. Gary traded the deep trust of hundreds of thousands of sick people for a fake number on a bank screen. Now, he has nothing at all. Just the cold prison air and the loud, angry noise of the cell block. The silent clicks are over. The hunters have gone home. But what about you? Every single day, you click accept. You answer the strange phone calls. You trust the glowing screen in your hand. So ask yourself this, when the invisible digital machine is running in the dark, who is really on the other side?